My name is Carola, and I'm on a 1-year-long bike trip around Europe to meet Christians from different backgrounds. Last week, I told you about my trip through Kerry, where I saw the most beautiful landscape and met a friend along the way who showed me the real Irish experience. Then I was off on a rainy bike ride to Limerick.
So it started raining when I started my bike trip, and now it's kind of stopped raining right as I arrived.
I stayed with Lonnie and Michelle, who showed me around the city and took me to their church. After 5 months of traveling and interviewing people in churches, I decided to take a break with the interviews and just be a visitor at Abundant Life Limerick, which was so nice. We also visited a friend from church who has this amazing garden full of creative DIYs, which you can find all around her place. After having some tea and cake with her, I went for a walk and got great news. The last couple of days I've been thinking it would be nice to take 2 or 3 weeks to stay somewhere and not have to pack everything up that I own every 2 days, and just have my own place for 2 or 3 weeks. And I actually have been in touch with a church in Dublin, and they have rooms that are affordable, and they just told me that I can stay there for pretty much all of August. So I'm so excited to explore Dublin in that time, to get some work done, and I'm so grateful. That's like incredible. Dublin is so expensive, so it's such a great blessing. While I was excited to take a break of moving around so much, I was also so grateful for all of the amazing people who had never met me before and kindly let me stay in their homes. So I thought it was time to ask why they took in a stranger like me.
Well, I think for us, we have talked about just opening our home periodically to people who have a need or who are coming through. It gives us a chance to get to know people, and it gives us a chance to give towards people as well.
We feel like that's part of just part of being a Christian, and is being welcoming and helping people when we can. And in addition to, like Lonnie said, it's interesting and fun for us, but we've just had very many people be good to us over the years, so it was easy to do.
Well, thank you so much. I love being here.
But once again, it was time to head back on the road. I stayed in an Airbnb to get some editing done, but on the morning I was leaving, I wasn't feeling too well. This is always a huge problem to me because I have to really rely on my body to keep up with my schedule. But I prayed about it and had some cheering up while I got my bike ready. Unfortunately, the weather once again was not on my side, but with the right clothes, I made my way over to Galway. A city so full of music and creativity, which was really fun to visit. I also visited the church of Marjorie, who I was staying with, and later that day she took me on a small road trip to see some of the islands close by. The weather wasn't great again, but I got to see some beautiful landscapes and this really cool beach, which had lots of corals instead of sand on it. Even with bad weather, there's no hiding of the beauty of Irish nature. After a couple of days, and again with bad weather, it was time to get back on the road. In Telmore, I stayed with a Gill family who fed me with ice cream, and we had such great conversations. I wish I had stayed longer. Their boys entertained me while I packed everything in the morning, and then it was time to do my last bike ride, at least for a couple of weeks.
Today I'm biking for 6.5 hours from Telmore to Dublin. It's gonna be raining for 6.5 hours. That's what the weather forecast says. I think that's gonna be mentally my biggest challenge, to keep going even though I might be totally soaked in rain. But I am motivated, and so let's go.
The weather stayed true to the forecast, and within 30 minutes I was completely soaked in rain. But by that time, I was so used to it and knew that a nice break with some warm food and electricity for my battery would do wonders. But I do have to admit that after 7.5 hours of biking, I was very tired and happy to be in Dublin. I had done a lot of biking in the last 4 weeks and was ready to settle down for a little bit. The room I got to stay in is part of the Shankill Bible Church, and not just the place, but also the people made me feel so welcome there.
Okay, so here's my biggest highlight.
I was so praying that the place that I would find would have a piano because I love playing, and I haven't really gotten to play since 5 months since I left. And look what's here, what I get to use. I'm so excited! I'm so grateful to the Shankill Bible Church that I got to stay there. It really was such a miracle to me. And for the first time in 5 months, I could really make myself home somewhere because I knew that I wouldn't have to leave again in a couple of days. And honestly, at that point of my trip, that's exactly what I needed. Please don't close the video yet. As always, I would be so grateful if you could like this video, comment something encouraging, and if you haven't done so, you should definitely subscribe to my channel by clicking the button below the video. This makes sure that you won't miss my videos, which come out every Thursday.